Hello, I am Dr. Lopez and thank you for tuning in. I'm here to inform you how a healthy diet and staying physically active can prevent heart disease. The first step I would like to talk about is portion control. This is just as important as what you eat. Overeating can lead to eating more calories, causing you to be obese. Eating a good amount of fruits and vegetables can help cut down on higher calorie foods. Limiting your sodium and unhealthy fats can also reduce the chance of heart disease. Last but not least, staying physically active improves blood circulation, which may help reduce blockage on arteries. Being active at least 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a day is a start.
Hello, I am Dr. Lewis, and I'm here to inform you on how stress levels and smoking can put you at a greater risk for heart disease. Stress is a part of everyday life with things we can and cannot control. Your body's response to stress is supposed to protect you. But if you constantly have this stress, it can harm you in the long run. A hormone is released in your body. When you're stressed. High levels of this hormone can be from long-term stress, which will increase blood pressure, blood cholesterol, and blood sugar. Also cause buildup of plaque in your arteries. Stress can also cause poor blood flow to the heart. Stressed people usually aren't getting enough sleep, low on energy, impatient, or constantly angry, and most result to smoking. To lower your stress, you must stay strong mentally. You must get plenty of exercise, 30 to 40 minutes a day. People who exercise have reduced physical response to stress. Also, other ways is to build a strong support system. Stay close to family and friends. Get involved in organizations. Anything that will reduce your stress. If any of these don't work, you should seek treatment. Long-term anxiety or emotional stress can have an increase of sudden cardiac death or failure. Smoking affects all your organs, especially your blood vessels, putting you at risk for a disease where plaque builds up in your arteries, blocking oxygen-rich blood flow to your organs. Find out what triggers you to smoke and quit it altogether. Of course, quitting all at once is very hard, but just slowly smoke 1 or 2 cigarettes a day. And this will take you away from having a greater risk of heart disease and blood clot.
For starters, blood pressure. Blood pressure is a problem within itself, high or low, because if it's too high, then what that means is your heart is basically trying to pump the blood that's necessary to circulate throughout your body through a more narrow pathway because you have blood clots within those pathways. And this is an issue because what the heart is doing is, as it exerts more force throughout those pathways, that means those blood cells are actually now just running amok through those pathways. Even though it goes through that pathway, it hits those barriers that are actually meant to keep the blood cells within that specific space. Now, if your blood pressure is too low, then you run into the issues of lack of sleep, blue fingers, more drowsiness. You feel like you have no energy throughout the day. You just feel like you're really just tired in retrospect. All right, now we move on to cholesterol, even though it still goes hand in hand with blood pressure, because if you have more cholesterol, it will lead to higher blood pressure. But if you have low cholesterol, it will lead to lower blood pressure. But the same amount of symptoms that go along with low blood pressure doesn't necessarily affect cholesterol. Cholesterol really only plays a role when it comes to high blood pressure, because that leads to the blood clotting and the narrowing of the pathways for blood to circulate throughout your body, and so on. As you can see, these are already issues on their own. So to a person who has diabetes, this is only making the matter even worse, because then now we're talking about issues such as small blood clots within the foot, small blood clots within your heart, and what they tend to do to solve these issues, it can lead to certain decisions such as amputations or surgeries or removing of specific organs if the necessary steps aren't taken, such as watching what you eat, watching what you do, your fast food intake, basically anything that goes along a calorie intake. You have to watch your calories. Everything plays a specific part within your body, and you have to make sure what you're doing and watching what you eat, which goes along with your physical activity and that sense of